let us rewind for a second to see exactly how this massive domino fell and set off this catastrophic chain reaction. It all started with Jens. We all know that Jens is a ruthless, calculated threat who absolutely loves to target innocent loved ones to gain leverage over his enemies. He has made his sinister intentions incredibly clear, and nobody in Port Charles has been able to sleep soundly since he started making moves. Laura has been living in a constant state of suffocating fear, checking over her shoulder, waiting for the other shoe to drop. And then the absolute worst possible thing happened. Radio silence. Kevin and little Ace completely stopped answering. No phone calls were returned. No text messages were delivered. Nothing but terrifying, echoing dead air coming all the way from Ireland. That terrifying silence triggered a massive, uncontrollable panic inside Laura. If you ask me, she had every single right to completely lose her mind. Jens is out there, lurking in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The sudden lack of communication meant only one logical thing in her terrified, racing head. Jens had finally gotten to them. The dominoes were falling fast, and the situation was rapidly spiraling out of control. The intense fear of a brutal kidnapping situation drove Laura to make a desperate, split-second decision. She knew she could not just sit around her house, pacing the floors, waiting for a ransom note to arrive. She had to take action immediately before it was too late. So Laura packs a bag, rushes to the airport, and hops on the very first plane straight to Ireland. Guys, just imagine the pure, unadulterated agony of that long international flight. Every single hour trapped in that airplane seat felt like an entire lifetime of torture. She is sitting there, staring out the window, picturing the absolute worst case scenarios playing on an endless, terrifying loop in her mind. Are Kevin and Ace tied up in a dark, damp basement somewhere? Are they being tortured for information? Are they even still alive? The anxiety is literally eating her alive from the inside out, pushing her closer and closer to the edge of a total psychological breakdown. She is ready to fight Jens with her bare hands if she has to, determined to save her family at any cost. She finally touches down in Ireland, navigates the unfamiliar streets, and frantically tracks down the specific apartment building where Kevin had been staying. Her heart is pounding completely out of her chest, echoing in her ears. Every single step down that dimly lit hallway feels like a slow, agonizing march to an execution. She fully expects to kick open that door and find a violent, bloody crime scene. She is completely bracing herself for chaos, destruction, and a desperate life or death fight for survival. But wait. She reaches the door, takes a deep breath, and slowly pushes it open. And that changes everything in the blink of an eye. It is not a crime scene at all. There is no broken furniture scattered across the room. There are no signs of a violent struggle. Instead, her eyes adjust to find a warm, cozy, beautifully sunlit living room. And right there, sitting safely in the middle of the soft carpet, is little Ace. He is completely safe. He is happy. He is giggling and playing with a pile of colorful toys. The overwhelming wave of relief washes over Laura, but it only lasts for exactly 1 second. Because here is where things get incredibly messy. Ace is not alone on that living room floor. He is happily playing and sharing his toys with another toddler, a much younger child, sitting right there next to him. Laura just stares, completely paralyzed by confusion. Where on earth did this kid come from? Whose baby is this? Why is Ace having a casual afternoon playdate in a secret Irish apartment when Kevin has been completely off the grid and ignoring all her desperate calls? The initial confusion quickly morphs into a creeping, sickening sense of dread. But that is not even the biggest surprise of the day. Because right at that exact moment, Kevin casually walks out of the kitchen wiping his hands on a towel. And it gets so much worse. He is not alone either. A mysterious, stunningly beautiful woman walks out of the kitchen right beside him. They are smiling at each other. They are laughing about some private joke. They look incredibly comfortable, moving around the space like they have lived there together for years. They look exactly like a perfect, happy little family enjoying a quiet domestic afternoon at home. Guys, this is where it gets absolutely fascinating. Laura's brain completely short circuits. The terrifying, paralyzing fear of Jen's completely evaporates into thin air, instantly replaced by a massive, suffocating wave of betrayal that hits her like a freight train. The image playing out in front of her is way too domestic, way too intimate to just be a casual misunderstanding. The woman is casually helping Kevin carry some drinks from the kitchen. The two kids are playing happily at their feet. It is a picturesque domestic paradise that Laura is completely locked out of. Her mind starts racing a million miles a minute. Who is this mysterious woman? Is this Kevin's secret, hidden second life? Has he been playing house in Ireland this entire time, building a whole new family, while Laura was back home in Port Charles, losing her absolute mind with worry? The timeline of his prolonged absence suddenly looks incredibly suspicious. All those missed phone calls and unread text messages were not because he was kidnapped and held hostage by Jens. They were simply because he was far too busy building a brand new life with a younger woman. The hot tears immediately start rolling down Laura's face, stinging her cheeks. The sheer, raw devastation is hard to even watch. She does not see a brave husband who is in danger and needed rescuing. She sees a liar. She sees a cheater. She sees a man who has completely replaced her, effortlessly sliding into a new family dynamic as if she never even existed. Every single memory they shared, every single vow they made to each other, feels like a massive, disgusting lie in this exact heartbreaking moment. Kevin finally looks up from his conversation and spots Laura standing frozen in the open doorway. His face instantly drops, all the color draining from his cheeks in a split second. He knows exactly how this cozy domestic scene looks to his highly stressed wife. The sheer panic in his eyes is incredibly real. He immediately drops whatever he is holding onto the counter and rushes forward across the room. He starts stammering, calling out her name, frantically trying to explain the completely unexplainable situation unfolding in his living room. But Laura is absolutely not having it. What happened next may be even worse than the discovery itself. She does not scream at him. She does not throw things across the room. She does not even ask him a single question about who this woman is or where this baby came from. The silence radiating from her is absolutely deafening. She just moves with a cold, robotic, terrifying determination. She marches right into the center of that living room, completely ignoring the mysterious woman who is now staring at her in shock. Laura reaches down, gently but firmly scoops Ace up into her arms and holds him tight against her chest. The raw, unfiltered emotion radiating off her is intense enough to burn the whole building down. Kevin is practically chasing her around the small living room, desperately begging her to just stop for one single second. He is pleading with everything he has for just 2 minutes to explain the truth, swearing up and down that the situation is absolutely not what it looks like. He is desperate to stop the walls of his marriage from completely caving in. And then everything spiraled completely out of control. Laura turns her back on him without saying a single word. She shuts him out completely, building an impenetrable wall of anger and hurt. In her devastated, racing mind, any words coming out of his mouth right now would just be more manipulative lies. How can he possibly explain away a secret woman and a secret child living in his private apartment? There is absolutely no excuse good enough to fix this completely shattered trust. She walks straight out the door, holding Ace tightly, refusing to look back. She leaves Kevin standing there in the middle of his supposed new family, looking completely helpless, broken, and desperate. She marches down the long hallway, her tears completely blinding her vision, fully believing that our marriage is completely, irreversibly dead. The betrayal is a sharp physical pain in her chest, making it hard to even breathe as she rushes to the elevator. Kevin just stands there by the window, watching the taxi drive away, completely powerless to stop her from leaving. A massive, horrific misunderstanding has just pushed their years-long marriage right off a steep cliff into the abyss. Laura is already sitting in the back of that cab, planning to cut all ties, to block his phone numbers, to never speak to him again. The damage is done, the trust is broken, and the emotional fallout is going to be absolutely catastrophic for everyone involved. But wait, we have to take a step back and ask the real questions here. What is the actual truth hiding inside that Irish apartment? Who exactly is that mysterious woman? And why was Kevin hiding her existence from his own wife? Is she a witness to a crime? Is she secretly running from Jens too, forcing Kevin into hiding to protect her? Is that baby actually Kevin's biological child? Or is he risking his own marriage to protect someone else's innocent baby from a deadly threat? The secrets are piling up fast, and the pressure is reaching a boiling point. And that is the most dangerous part of this entire situation. Laura is flying back home, completely vulnerable, emotionally destroyed, and distracted by a severely broken heart. If Jens is still watching her every move, she has just walked right into his deadly trap without Kevin there to protect her. A massive secret is about to be violently exposed, a beloved character is about to be put in severe, life-threatening danger, and this entire family is on the verge of total, irreversible collapse. You absolutely cannot miss what happens next.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.